here. This is Killer Kyle. And welcome to Hey, me and Matt here, and this is Killer Kyle, and welcome to another episode of Wheels of Fury. Yeah! And before we get into today's video, holy shit, Wrestlemania. Wrestlemania. Yep. Very cool, you know. Also, NXT TakeOver, Stand and Deliver. Yeah. And so now, today, because WrestleMania weekend, they also had Impact, Hardcore Justice, which we didn't watch or do a review. So it's gonna be kind of hard too, because I've only saw a few matches, maybe 2 or 3, and I couldn't go on wrestling.com. So basically, it's kind of, I guess, winging it.
Pretty much.
Yeah. It looked like a good show, though. I mean, obviously, Hardcore Justice. It's basically a lot of stipulation matches, so, you know.
Let's see how it went. Things up, got a triple threat tag team match. You got Ace Austin and Madman Fulton, TJP teaming back up with Falaba, and Josh Alexander teaming with a returning Petey Williams.
Oh, yeah. And this match, I'm sure, was really cool. I mean, we haven't seen Petey Williams in a while. I'm not even sure how long it's been.
Yeah, it's been a few months.
Of course, as we all know.
Oh, Ethan Page is in AEW. He's partnered with Scorpio Sky.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's cool to see Josh Alexander team up with another fellow Canadian. And of course you have Falaba and TJP, and then Ace Austin and Madman Fulton. I'm sure this match was awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, the winners of this one, Josh Alexander and Petey Williams. And, yeah, so this wasn't really for any title per se, but...
No, it's just a tag team triple threat match. I mean, you know, like you said, you know, cool to see a couple Canadian boys team up. Because Petey's from Windsor, and I think Josh is from Hamilton?
Yes, correct.
Yeah. So, that's cool.
Yeah.
Now we've got what they're called a Charity Legal match. I guess that's supposed to be your off of ECW's pay-per-view, Barely Legal.
Yeah.
We had...
Well, I mean, Tommy Dreamer did make this pay-per-view up, so...
Yeah. Had Mahabali Shira against Hernandez. I guess it was just basically like a chairs match.
Yeah.
Chairs were legal, and maybe they got in some other weapons, tables probably, trash cans, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Candlesticks probably.
Yeah, I mean, these are 2 horses that I'm just kind of like, wow, you know, to see those 2 would have been nice, you know, but anyways, Mahabali Shira won. And yeah.
It says Rohit Raju came out to help Shira towards the end of the match, and it's like, well, okay. They initially, Rohit brought in Shira for like his muscle, if you will, and then they seemed to have a falling out. They had a match against each other, and it's like, okay, they went their separate ways, fine, whatever, and now I guess they're cohorts again?
Yeah, I think so. That sounds about right anyways. I mean, they're both Indian, so... whatever.
Yeah, weird. Anyways.
So now we go on to this match. You got Doc Gallows with Machine Gun Carl Anderson versus Black Taurus with Crazy Steve and Rosemary. I was wearing my Rosemary shirt yesterday, and
Yeah.
anyways, no, this was a good match. I did see some of it, but obviously the Good Brothers got one over, and like Carl helping Doc win the match, and so yeah. I mean, I'm very impressed with the new Decay stable.
Yeah.
You know, minus Abyss, but I mean, where they're gonna go, not quite sure. I mean, Crazy Steve went to NXT, not quite sure what he did there.
Yeah.
Now he's back, and you got Terrace from AAA.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I mean, and obviously the Good Brothers are probably one of the best tag teams of this generation. So,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
I still find it cool how they are billed from Tokyo.
Yeah, that kind of feels weird to me, but I guess it is what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, their wives are both Japanese, so I don't think that has anything to do with it, but
No.
there it is.
I think maybe it just ties back to their New Japan roots.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah.
So now we have a mystery crate match. You have Matt Cardona versus Johnny Swinger. In this match, I did see in this match was also really cool. I
Yeah.
don't know the premise, but it was still cool. I mean, you basically had a box in the middle of the fucking ring.
Mm.
So Johnny Swinger's over there trying to get something out of it, and this like foam shit's coming out.
Mm.
But I mean, it was a okay match otherwise.
Yeah.
But anyhow, Matt Cardona ended up winning, and he takes the fucking thing with him backstage.
Mm-hmm.
So I swear, Rebellion's gonna be a lot better than this.
Yeah, really. So then you go on to an open challenge match with Sami Callihan and Sam Beal.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Well, the open match thing, again, I haven't watched TNA for a long time. It's always an on and off thing with me, so.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, I think Sam Beal has been in the company for a while now. He's a newbie.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And of course, Sami Callihan's still one of the baddest motherfuckers in TNA.
Oh, yeah, for sure, for sure.
So,
Yeah. Good lord. Alright, so now you go on to talk about a throwback match. Got a hardcore blindfold match with Jake Something and Brian Myers. Now, of course, we all know my thoughts on the name Jake Something, but I mean, he seems to be doing fairly well for himself on his own.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm sure it would have, kind of would have been along the lines of Jack Roberts, Rick Martel,
Yeah.
WrestleMania
7.
7, yeah. Then, of course, you throw in the weapons aspect, if you will, and that would have made it even more interesting. I really think that's one thing that's made D'Lo such a good commentator. He's not afraid to state his opinion.
Yeah, and I mean, this match, I think, was even better than Martel and Roberts. Because, I mean, it took a while for them to, like, find each other. And there was a power bomb by Jake Something, but to no avail. And then, of course, he clotheslines Brian twice. He's gonna go for a third one. And then Brian somehow throws the referee onto Jake something, and then Jake gets knocked over. Brian takes off his hood and hits him with a super kick.
The match with Martel and Roberts, that's what made it so funny, is just them trying to find each other, and then when they were able to get a hold of each other, you know, it was good.
Yeah.
What we saw was probably last half of the match, whatever. But no real way of telling what the beginning of the match was like.
Right.
But it looked good.
Yeah, no, it did, for sure. Jake something that won. Brian did cheat, but Jake something had won the match. So.
Yeah, we only saw a quick snippet of them, like, it's only like a 2-minute video. Have to see the whole thing in order to know how it turned out. But yeah.
Watch Wrestling usually has everything, but for some reason. But.
Yeah.
Anyways, you got a weapons match to determine the number one contender for the Impact Knockouts Championship. You've got Danielle Dashwood,
Yes.
who defeated Jordan Grace, Sue Young, Havoc, and of course, Rosemary.
And Aaliyah.
And
Alicia.
Alicia.
Right, Alicia. Yeah, I didn't see the match, but I was on Instagram, and of course saw a little bit where of Petey returning and partnering with Josh Alexander, and they had pretty much everybody in the ring,
Yeah.
and they had Suzanne come out, and it's like, okay, she's gonna be in this match, I guess, and then they do the entrance for Sue Young. She comes out, and it's dark, so you can't really see. And, you know, it looks like the Sue puts Suzanne in the mandible claw and chokes her out, and, you know, makes her way to the ring. It's like, okay, fairly well done.
Yeah. It's one of those things with alter egos. Like, I mean, you saw somebody dress up as Mankind when Cactus Jack, or I think it was Dude Love, that came out. And so it's kind of weird to do stuff like that, but yeah, and this was a good match. You had Caleb Connolly super kick Jordan Grace. First of all, she went for a pin.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Caleb grabs her and takes her to the ring and gives her a super kick, which I thought was kind of interesting. You don't see that too much anymore.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and that got Danielle the win. So, yeah. Time to fucking put a title on this woman.
Yeah.
So.
Match with Deonna Purrazzo and Jazz. If Jazz wins, she's the Knockouts champion. If she loses, she would have to retire.
Yeah. And I'm not quite sure how old Jazz is at this. Well, she's got to be close to 50, but it doesn't matter. And
Yeah.
she comes back to Impact, and this is probably going to be her last run anyways
Yeah.
in business. So who knows where, if she'll end up anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
What I found interesting was she did wrestle on ECW before
Mm-hmm.
she made her way to WWE.
Yeah.
And I never saw footage up until I looked it up, and obviously.
Yeah.
But this was an interesting match too. You have, you know, Jazz definitely took it to Deonna, but Deonna hitting the Venus de Milo.
Venus de Milo, there you go.
And then I think it was a power bomb or some shit. And yeah, she got the win. She's still the Knockouts champion, and then of course Jordan Grace came out, and there was an emotional farewell for Jazz.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I don't know where to go from here, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, Jazz may stick around Impact and mentor some of the new girls and maybe become a producer or something. Who knows?
Yeah, I'm not quite sure.
Yeah.
But it was nice to see a woman legend for once,
Yeah.
if you will.
Yeah, for sure. So lastly, we have an 8-man tag hardcore war We got Violent by Design, Eric Young, Joe Doring, Rhino, and Diener, Cody, against Trey Miguel, Rich Swann, Willie Mack, and Eddie Edwards. And I'm sure this was an absolute war.
Oh yeah, this was.
Hardcore rules and everything.
And I saw most of the last remaining minutes of the match, obviously, and it was a really good match too, you know. And I think that Violent by Design is probably one of my favorites now. I mean, Eric Young's always been that demented psychopath, and
Oh yeah.
you know, whatever they call him, and Cody Diener, yeah, I didn't see him as a bad guy, but
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's working out for him. And of course, Joe Doring, the guy that looks like Stan Hansen. But then you got, you know, Rich Swann and Trey Miguel, Willie Mack, and Eddie Edwards. And these guys, Eddie Edwards has really come into his own as a hardcore wrestler. And of course, you know, Trey Miguel having the rest of the Rascals go to NXT. So, yeah, you know what? I mean, from what I saw, this was a good match. Cody Diener had a can and hit it. Willie Mack that had Eric Young hit the pile driver to get the win.
Yeah.
But this was, yeah, I mean, if we saw the whole show, this would have been a good match, front to back.
Oh yeah.
But of course, I only saw the back.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think Rebellion's gonna be a hell of a lot better than this. I mean, I'm not sure what the fuck happened. You know, like I said, we tried. That's all we can do.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so you're gonna have Rebellion next week.
Yeah.
And,
Next weekend,
yeah, so
April the 25th, will be Rebellion, and then not too long after that will be WrestleMania Backlash.
yeah, I don't know why they went with WrestleMania Backlash, but okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that'll be an interesting show. And so, I mean, Matt, this is Killer Kyle. With that, we bid you adieu.
Goodbye.
And good night.
Bang!